I used to go to the grocery store with a really long list and a zero plan and still feel like I had nothing to eat. Does that sound familiar to you? Now, I keep it simple. These 5 ingredients are always in my grocery cart. No matter what kind of week I'm having, I never want to run out of these. They're quick, versatile, and help me feel good. No complicated recipes and no diet rules. Okay, let's dive in. These items are not trendy. They're not new. They're practical, they're simple, and you can find them at most grocery stores. They help me put together anti-inflammatory meals on the fly, most of the time without a recipe and without a plan. And of course, without a ton of stress. I'll walk you through each one and tell you ways that I actually use them in recipes in my kitchen to keep things simple. Some of these you might expect, and 1 or 2 may kind of surprise you. Stick around because the last one is not at all what you're gonna think, and it saves me a ton of time. Let's start with my favorite, avocados. I keep avocados in my kitchen at all times. Let me give you a little tip. When you buy your avocados and they're green, set them on your counter. As soon as they get texture that you want, put them in the fridge, and that slows down the ripening process. So these are currently ready for me to eat. So I've been storing these in the fridge, which as a matter of fact, I'm gonna have one today. But yes, avocados are always in my fridge, and let me tell you all the different things that I do with them. Avocado toast, yes, but I also mash them with tuna salad, chicken salad. I mash them with my eggs that we talked about last week. By the way, if you haven't watched that video, go back and watch my egg video, super helpful. I slice them and put them over 1 bowl meals. I add them to breakfast tacos, regular tacos. I add them to Mexican casseroles. I put them in my chili. I add them to my wraps. I put them in my smoothies to make the smoothies creamy. Avocados are a very solid, rock solid, good source of healthy fat. So I try to get them into my diet as much as I can, which is usually 3 to 4 days a week. Number 2 on my list, which probably doesn't surprise you, are leafy greens. And I usually buy the pre-done ones, so I don't have to spend a lot of time cutting them and storing them. And here's a little tip, I haven't done it yet because I just bought these. Open it up, put a paper towel on top of them and close it and store them like this. This will keep the moisture off of your lettuce and it will last a little bit longer. Greens are the base for most of my meals, even if they're not the star. And typically they're not the star. We don't eat a ton of salad in this house, maybe once a month. So they're not the star, but they are always around. I throw spinach or kale in smoothies. I throw spinach or kale in my scrambled eggs, in my egg muffins. And of course, you can chop your romaine or your spinach and throw it onto a sandwich, put it in a wrap. Of course, you can make a salad, that's a given. You could do mason jar salads. And my favorite way is adding kale to soups. It stays a little bit heartier than a spinach would. So if you're gonna put them in soup, do kale. You're getting lots of fiber, lots of minerals, and antioxidants. Number 3 on my list are frozen berries. Sometimes I get just blueberries, sometimes I get the mixed berries, strawberries, raspberries, you cannot go wrong, but frozen berries are a huge staple in my house. Let me tell you all the things that I do with frozen berries. Of course, I put them in a blender for smoothies in a myriad of ways. You can make hundreds of recipes with berries with smoothies. It's a really good way to get a lot of antioxidants, which are cancer-fighting, disease-fighting things that go in your body and act like little soldiers, and they actually fight for you. And berries are loaded with anthocyanin, which is an antioxidant. I also will stir them into my hot oatmeal, and I will put them into muffins, breads, gluten-free of course, and I'll thaw them and mix them into my chia seed pudding or my overnight oats. And a little thing that I do with them that you may not think, you can put them over the stove with a little bit of maple syrup and some chia seeds, mix it up, maybe add a little vanilla, and you have berry jam. Once it cools, it thickens up beautifully. You can add it to a jar and you have your homemade jam, and you know every ingredient. It's not packed with preservatives or added sugars. Before we go on to number 3, if you are loving this information, haha, you like the way I said loving. If you are loving this information and you want to continue learning with me and being inspired in the kitchen, because I do make healthy cooking simple and fun and also delicious, join my online community called the Healthy Hub. It is absolutely complimentary to join. There are over 3,200 people in there, and we are inspiring each other. We are asking the questions, we are rolling up our sleeves, and we are doing the work in a fun way to make our lives healthier. The link below is in the description to join the Healthy Hub. All right, number 3 on my list is going to be lemons and limes. I use the heck out of lemons and limes, mostly for the juice. For lemons, I will make a beautiful ginger immune boosting shot that I make every month. You can get that recipe on my website, shelleycanhelp.com. And I use lemons in my water. I use lemons in my salad dressings, soups, casseroles. If you add lemon and lime juice to some of your recipes, you will add less salt. So if you're trying to cut back on your sodium, lemon and lime juice can be a great way to kind of substitute that added salt. I also add lemon juice to roasted vegetables. I add lime juice to my tacos. Lemon juice can help preserve things that brown quickly. So if you want to shred some sweet potatoes and store them, squeeze a little lemon juice on them. You want to cut an apple, but you're not going to eat it right away, squeeze some lemon juice on it. Want to clean your cutting board? Put baking soda on your cutting board, cut a lemon in half, and scrub the baking soda with the lemon wedge. It will bring out most of your stains. So that's something that I buy. All 5 of these I buy every single week to keep in my kitchen so I can whip things together, add flavor to things, add texture to things. But the biggest thing is I know they're offering me nutrients. Number 4 is going to be dairy-free yogurt, plain, unflavored, unsweetened. Cocoa June is my favorite. If you've been following me for a while, you know that this is my absolute favorite. It is thick, it's creamy, and it's coconut milk yogurt, so it has probiotics in it. If you can't find it, just go to their website, Cocoa June, and look and see where they are located in a store near you. There are other brands out there, but that one is my favorite. Let me tell you some things that I use coconut yogurt for. I don't really even buy the flavored yogurts because about once a week, I'll eat this by itself and I add a dash of maple syrup and stir it up with some fruit or granola, and it's a side dish for my breakfast. And if you want the most delicious granola recipe, go to my website, shelleycanhelp.com, and look up my granola recipe. It's to die for. You can make a beautiful salad dressing with plain yogurt. So just mix it up with your lemon juice, your herbs, your oil, and you have garlic, and you have a wonderful salad dressing. You can do the same thing with a marinade. As a matter of fact, a few days ago, I marinated my chicken in the yogurt, and then I put it on the Blackstone. It was absolutely delicious. It just gave it this beautiful creamy texture. Anytime that I'm trying to replace sour cream in a recipe, I will use this yogurt and add a little bit of lemon or lime to it, and it replaces the sour cream. So if you find a recipe, let's say you're making a dip that calls for sour cream, use the yogurt. I also use yogurt to make my sauces creamy. So if I'm making a creamy pasta sauce over the stove, instead of using heavy whipping cream, I'll add a dollop of this yogurt. These 5 ingredients give me freedom in the kitchen. They make me feel safe knowing, okay, I've got a protein, I can throw something together. I can build something nourishing, and that's important for me. They can also be flavorful and simple at the same time. These kind of steps are exactly what I teach inside my online cooking class called Kitchen Culture. If you've never attended one of these fun cooking classes, they're virtual, so you cook in your kitchen, I cook in mine together. They're a blast. Go to shelleycanhelp.com/cooking and you can register. There's a class once a month, and just check the website and you can see the upcoming dates. And if you feel intimidated and you just want to watch and learn, you can do that too. I'm here to inspire, motivate, and encourage you to feel confident in the kitchen, making practical, simple, healthy, and delicious meals for you and your family. Because this is how we eat now. I encourage you to give one or all of these ingredients a try. They give me freedom in the kitchen. I can build something nourishing, flavorful, and simple without starting from scratch every single time. This is exactly what I teach inside Kitchen Culture. Kitchen Culture is my online cooking class that takes place once a month, and it's open to the public. I teach you how to build healthy habits around food that works in real life. I'll put the link below in the description, and you too can join me inside the next virtual cooking class. We don't do perfect, we do practical. This is how we eat now.